Hello and welcome to TotoTCG. You are here with me, Matthew, and we are back here with another Pokemon news update. So we have more trainers. Or in fact, we're actually finishing off all the trainers. So we've already had a look at all the supporters from both Champion Road and Charisma of the Wrecked Sky. We've had a look at the trainers for Champion Road, and now we're finishing off with Charisma of the Wrecked Sky. There's not as many as Champion Road, but there's still a nice selection. And there's one that I can think of, which is a returning trainer card. So without further ado, let's head in and see what cards we have got. So the first one is called Crisis Potion. And there it is right there. It looks absolutely amazing. Just looks like an energy drink. Something you'd like to sort of drink. I think that's actually a Dunsparce on the label, sort of going up. If you look at it, if you tilt your head, you can probably see the Dunsparce going up. I've literally only just noticed that. That is really, really cool. Very nice indeed. Love the artwork on this card, but what does Crisis Potion do? Even though it has potion in the name, it heals 120 damage from one of your Pokemon with 30 or less remaining HP. Whew! So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but the only thing is, it's very, very rare that a Pokemon has 30 or less HP. Yes, it can happen. And yes, 120 healing is pretty damn good, actually. There's no energy having to come off at all. And the fact that some Pokemon actually can't hit the full amount, maybe they're like 10 or 20 off, it's pretty good. Maybe just to run maybe just one of these in case it happens. I've had it sometimes where I've had Pokemon come back to the bench and I thought if I put this up it's just going to get another hit and it's gone. And in some cases it can be like 30 or 10 HP, something like that. Now that's the only thing you have to do with this thing is to use it. It has to be having 30 or less HP. That's the only thing to remember with this thing, and then you can use it. So this could be actually a really good one during pre-release, and definitely to see how popular it is. I don't know whether people will play this competitively because not a lot of people do play healing cards. It's very deck orientated that you see someone play like a Max Potion. Acerola is a good way of just like bringing back something that you don't want to get destroyed straight away. So that's definitely a pretty interesting card right there. So moving on to the next one, we have got this very nice bike here. Really, really cool. Well, what is the bike? You guys might already know what this card is. It is Acro Bike. So I believe, and I think I know, that this one came out... I'm thinking it came out in Ancient Origins, but I'm probably wrong there. But it has come out before. Acro Bike has come out before. What does Acro Bike do, for people who don't know? You look at the two top cards of your deck and put one of the cards into your hand, and then you discard the other. So in some situations that could be pretty cool. You could find an item card, say a Choice Band, and then you discard maybe an energy or a Pokemon. Or maybe, for example, it's really situational. But the fact that you're able to sort of like look at the two cards and think, which one at this current moment in time do I need? Do I need an energy, a Pokemon, a healing thing, another supporter, something like that? That is what Acro Bike is there to do. So it's pretty interesting. Of course, you can just Zoroark and just draw the two cards. That's fair enough. But in this way, you're sort of putting stuff in the discard pile, which might come into play very nicely later on. Say, for example, you run a water deck, and say, for example, you come across a water Pokemon, you decide to keep it, and you had a water energy as the other card, bang. You've got a water energy in the discard pile, you find an Aqua Patch, / you have an Aqua Patch in hand, you can use it. So, yeah, it could be a pretty interesting one. I'm not too sure how it was played before, but I know it was out before. And I know some people have mentioned it and have like tested it in some decks to see what it's like, so who knows? Who knows? It could be a pretty interesting one. And surprise, surprise, we've actually come across our first secret rare right here. So there is secret rare Acro Bike. It looks absolutely amazing. I have to say, I'd love to get this either in a booster pack, booster box, whatever, to put alongside the escape board. You got you literally have a skateboard and the bike. it can't be. I mean, a scooter. The next thing has got to be a scooter, and then they have to make a skate park stadium, and that's perfect. You can put everything in there. That would be really, really cool. Not that it would happen, but it would be really cool. But Acrobike Secret Rare, that is the first of 3 that we'll be getting. So let's move on to the next one. So have a little look at that. We got a nice sort of multicoloured paintbrush. Looks really, really cool, actually. Really nice card there. Well, what is it? Well, it's called Rainbow Brush. What does it do? So you search your deck for a basic energy card and switch it with an energy card attached to one of your Pokemon in play. Shuffle the switched energy card back into your deck. Now, I'll be brutally honest, I was a bit confused when I read this because I was like, okay, so you search it for a basic energy card, but you can switch any energy card off of the Pokemon. So, for example, you play the Rainbow Paintbrush, say you had a double colourless or a counter energy on, then you could almost retreat it back to your deck to be used again, maybe before you get knocked out next turn. You then play like a basic energy on there. Maybe this could actually be this could work pretty nicely as well with Buzzwole. I'm only saying Buzzwole because of Beast Energy. It doesn't say a Prism card, it says Energy card, and I know that Beast Energy is an energy card. So you could get rid of that, play a normal fighting energy, and at least that won't go to the lost zone. So it might be a good way of sort of getting back, or at least stopping stuff from going where you don't want it to go. For example, a lost zone. So this could be a really, really interesting one to see what happens. Whether it's going to... I really don't know if it's going to see play or not. I'm only giving a situation in my head. But... no, I mean, it's a pretty interesting looking card. I just want to know if people really are going to play this. I really don't know. Not too sure. But we've come across our second secret rare. So there is the secret rare Rainbow Brush. That looks absolutely amazing. It really does. I love how they literally just take what was the Rainbow Brush there and they just give it a lovely gold background there. It looks really, really nice. I love that multicolored paint splatter that's still coming off the brush. Looks insane. Really does look absolutely insane. Such a cool looking card there. Very nice indeed. So moving on to the next card, we have got this thing right here, and you're probably thinking, what's that? Choice Band? No. No, it is not a Choice Band. It is called Hustle Belt. So what does Hustle Belt do? Well, if the remaining HP of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 30 or less, its attacks do 60 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. If there's no damage counters on this Pokemon, this tool does nothing. Okay, so it's situational. You have to have 30 or less. So you're basically placing this up. Say, for example, you put it on a Zoroark, and the Zoroark has 190 hit points taken already, which means it's got 20 left before it gets knocked out. That means Hustle Belt could be used. So that's an extra 60 damage on top of a possible full bench of 120, which is 180, then 30 for a Choice Band, which is 210, and then if you even want to push it a little bit more lucky, you've got Devoured Field in play, which is another 10. So you could possibly do 220 damage by adding this on top, which will pretty much knock a lot of things out. A lot of things will fall to this. But you're obviously straight away thinking, right, okay, fair enough. I've put Hustle Belt on. Hold on, did I say Choice Band? Because if I said Choice Band, then... No, there's no Choice Band. Okay. Okay, I think I did just ruin that then. So 120 for the full bench, 60 for this, so that's 180. Devoured Field, 190. You're knocking out a Buzzwole, which you're weak to. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm only putting into effect of Zoroark. Who else could you use? Buzzwole could be pretty cool. It's not like a super tanky Pokemon, but it's a pretty decent basic Pokemon with 190. Say it goes to 180, you've got 10 HP left. You smack this on there, and maybe you do the first move, which I think it's 30 to the what's it called, the active Pokemon, and then 30 to the benched. A lot of people will play Beast Energy, so that could be 60-30. Plus this, 120-30. I mean, that's pretty cool. Obviously, it's situational if you do have 30 or less HP, so there is something definitely to think about there. Might be actually worth maybe running one of these, so maybe do, because I know some people run like 3 choice band, maybe do 3 choice band and a hustle belt, just for that situational sort of, oh, maybe I can just use this now and get a cheeky KO. Could be pretty interesting. And of course, this is the third and final secret rare. There it is right there. Hustle belt right there. Looks absolutely amazing. Love it. It almost looks just like a ring, but obviously it is a belt. It looks really, really cool. I love how you can see the elements going around the side, and you can just see there, and I can show you in this previous picture, there's a Pokeball there with 2 like muscles next to it. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. I do like the fire though exploding from the hustle belt on that one, and then you go from that to being a nice gold with a bit of dark going on there, but very, very nice indeed. The gold matches very well with the gold, which is always really, really cool. So moving on from that, let's have a little look at a stadium which is coming out in this set. So there is the picture right there of the card. Looks pretty cool, but what is it and what does it do? So it is called Commandment Shrine. Well, what does it do? Between turns, put 1 damage counter on each Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX, both yours and your opponent's. So this reminds me of a slightly different version of Po-Town. Now, Po-Town will put damage on your Pokemon when you evolve them, and it was both yours and your opponent's. So it's another stadium which sort of helps to deal damage, but every turn the damage will go up and up and up. Now you could play this and counter some of the GXs on your opponent. Now say you weren't to play any GXs, maybe a Tapu Lele for example. Maybe that's the only GX you play in your deck. Maybe you play the new Swampert that's coming out, the new Fraligator. Maybe you're playing, I'm putting water Pokemon here, but maybe you play, what's it called? Empoleon. One of them, they're not GXs, so this is not, they're not going to be affected by that. Of course, Po-Town would affect them because they are evolving up, but this wouldn't. But if your opponent has GXs, now obviously they can play another stadium to wipe this out, but if they have GXs, this could be pretty cool to sort of lower the damage down and be like, well, I can't actually hit that now. Happy days. So there we go, Commandment Shrine right there, very nice. And then let's have a little look at the last card from this set right here. We've got this sort of stadium in the sky, sort of triangular stadium thing. What is it? It is called Sky Pillar. I mean, yeah, it's in the sky and it looks like a pillar, so fair enough. What does it do? All benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, aren't affected by damage or effects from the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon. So, when you go to play Buzzwole, and Buzzwole would do 30 damage to your bench, I'm guessing this would stop it. This would completely stop it. If obviously you were playing Buzzwole and you wanted to attack the bench, you couldn't, because this is both yours and your opponent's Pokemon. If you Tapu Koko, this is a good counter for Tapu Koko, I'm personally thinking anyway. Because Tapu Koko is there to sort of reduce the HP of Pokemon, and then it makes him a little bit more like one-shot worthy with other stuff which might not be as strong. But this will stop Tapu Koko from going through. Of course, it will affect the active, but not the benched, as long as this is in play. Of course, if this does get like destroyed or replaced, then fair enough, you can't use this. But it's pretty cool. I have to say, it is a pretty interesting card. It could be really interesting. Another one, for example, is Volcanion Prism, which normally would put 20 damage on everything on the bench, and it does 100 to the active. So you can still be doing 100 to the active, which I guess is pretty cool, but you'd only be doing 20... No, you wouldn't even be doing 20 to any of the benched. So this is going to be interesting. Pretty interesting stadiums here. The one that sort of attacks GXs and the one that stops your attacks on bench stuff. I mean, it's really cool. Really, really cool indeed. And there's effects as well. So maybe if a Pokemon says, like, I don't know, no, I guess because you're doing it on the active, I'm thinking if they've got like a way of saying, like, oh, now switch this, your opponent's active with a benched. That would still happen because you're targeting the active, not just benched. But I mean, Sky Pillar looks interesting. Could be a really nice card to have a little play around with. And these are going to be pretty nice during pre-release, I have to say, because there's a lot of stuff during pre-release. It's a lot of like basic Pokemon, no GXs. Very lucky if you do get a GX, but a lot of people have got like basics and they're not GXs. This would be pretty cool because some of them do have the attack. I'll say, for example, Kyogre, who is actually going to be one of the pre-release promos. I think it does 30 to the active and 30 to the benched. So it'd still do the 30 to the active, but not the bench because of this, if you can pull it. So I mean, that's going to be pretty cool indeed. So yeah, there we go. Sky Pillar right there. Looks pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. It's going to be definitely worth keeping an eye on some of these to see what sort of happens. But there's a lot of new things here. And obviously Acrobike has come back, so there is that. So hopefully a few people might be quite happy with that. And it's got a secret rare, which is always really, really cool as well. But there we go. So let's have a little look at Guess the GX. The answer from yesterday's. So I gave you that picture right there. Pretty obvious, I think, what that is. It was, of course, Guzzlord GX, the full art. Very, very cool card. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. The GX ability, I'd love to really get off and fantastically use it, because it would just be insane to be able to knock out a GX and also take 2 more prize cards. That's 4 prize cards in one turn. Insane. Really, really insane. I like it a lot. But there we go. So let's have a little look at the Guess the GX for this episode. So we have got that picture there, that picture there, and an even bigger expanded one. What is that Pokemon right there? What is the GX? Let me know in the comments below. As well as that, let me know your thoughts on the cards which we've discussed today in this episode. And apart from that, I am going to leave it here for this episode. If you guys have enjoyed or you found me for the first time, then definitely hit that subscribe button below for more content. Comment down below like I've said, and I will see you guys in the next video on the channel.